Good morning, y'all. Fuzzy Biker here in the Fuzzy Biker Garage. Just got back from a 733-mile trip. Got back yesterday, actually. We went from, we were called it the River to River 650 rider. We took 650 Royal Enfields. We took my Super Meteor right here. A friend took his shotgun. Two other guys took interceptors. And we went from basically the Missouri River all the way to the Mississippi River. We crossed the Mississippi and then went on into Illinois. I went up the Mississippi to Galena. It was just absolutely gorgeous. Then back down all the way to Moline and Rock Island and across the bridge over the yonder. But what I'd like to talk about this morning is this particular Super Meteor 650. This is my own bike. I bought this motorcycle last fall. I waited, I resisted the temptation to get an Interceptor, which I wanted so bad because those are wonderful motorcycles. I wanted something made for touring, and I really believe the Super Meteor with this wonderful seat, swept back bars, forward controls, was set up for touring better than long. So at the heart of the motorcycle is this amazing 649cc parallel twin, air-cooled, oil-cooled. It's got the 270-degree crank. It's a single overhead cam, but yet it has 4 valves per cylinder, so you have 8 valves total. It's paired to a 6-speed transmission. The engine and transmission on these bikes are like symbiotic. They just work so well together. They're just the smoothest thing on the planet. I just love using them. The motor puts out about 47 horsepower, about 39 foot-pounds of torque, and that's about 52 newton meters. And it just does it so well. The torque comes in, I would guess, at 2,500 RPM or something like that. So on the Super Meteor and then the shotgun model, it's got this inverted fork on the front. I think it's about 4.4, 4.7 inches of travel about. The wheelbase is about 58 inches. That's 1,473 millimeters. And I think that little bit of extra wheelbase over like an Interceptor gives it a lot more stability. Another neat thing about this bike, they put this 320 millimeter disc on the front with a dual piston Vibri caliper. On the back, it's got a 300 millimeter disc with a dual piston Vibri. It's got cast rims, so you've got tubeless tires front and back. And I've added these tire pressure monitors, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Jump into the rear end of this bike. I have upgraded the suspension. Because this is a touring bike, I did spend the money and got the YSS suspension. I've had that suspension now for 3,000 or 4,000 miles, and after this ride, it's worth every penny. The bike handled better. The bike was more comfortable. The bike did the rough stuff much better. Everything was improved over stock. I like the stock. This is just much better. I like it a lot. Another thing you'll notice is I have stock exhaust on this. And the reason I left stock, I didn't go with the louder pipes. Everybody on the ride had louder pipes, aftermarket pipes, is I wanted the bike to be relatively quiet. And, on a long ride, if you're going to have a 500, 600, 700 mile day, you're going to have to listen to that drone all day. And I think this is better. Now, having said that, we went through several tanks of gas. My worst one was about 48 miles a gallon. The best one was 58 miles a gallon. All of them were over 50, except for that 48. One of the guys was getting in the low 60s, and he had aftermarket pipes and a DNA filter and all that neat stuff. He got all that from Baxter Cycle. All this came from Baxter Cycle, by the way. And I don't know, maybe that's what added to his mileage. Maybe that's why he got better mileage. One of the main reasons I got this bike was the seating position. It's got this big, wide, kind of a neat seat, very comfortable. It took me 1,000 miles to get it broken, but boy, once I got it broken, it's just been very comfortable. You sit kind of upright. It's got the forward controls. My legs are stretched better. When I ride the bike, I use the forward pegs and the rear pegs, both, And then also I like the bars reaching back to me. The shotgun, you can kind of reach to the bars. The shotgun, the seat's a little higher. We think it's a little farther forward also. This, I think, is set up for, if you're going to do mile after mile after mile of road, I think this setup is very good for that. The longer wheelbase, the lower seat, the wider seat, the forward controls, the reaching back bars, the YSS suspension for sure, and of course this wonderful windshield, which is absolutely filthy. Look at that. So things I added to this motorcycle to make it more of a tour bike. I already talked about the windshield, which works very well. I wear a I-90, HJC I-90 full face helmet, and on this, I'm also 5'8", and on this bike I have very little helmet buffeting, if any at all, and the windshield works fabulously. And on the road, like I said, the windshield caught most of the grime and stuff like that on there. We added these wide foot pegs, and you wouldn't think they would make that much difference, right? They're not that wide. They're a little over double the size of standard. This is about a standard peg, so maybe double the size. They make a lot of difference. I really recommend those. I don't think they're that much money either, 80, 90 bucks. Added the YSS suspension. That was a costly add, and I really had to weigh that. I've never bought high-end suspension components. My goal is to ride this motorcycle about 30,000 this year if possible. So I thought it was worth spending the money on this particular motorcycle for that reason. It took me about 300 miles to get it dialed in. And then, I put a couple thousand miles on it since then. And this thing is worth every dollar I paid for it. You can adjust the preload and you can adjust the rebound down here. The preload was easy. We got that for my weight. That was no big deal. The rebound, I took this on several rides. Maybe you saw the videos. And I got it tuned. And I found some really rough roads and just took it on different kinds of things. The big surprise was how much better the bike felt on curvy roads, how much smoother the bike was on rough roads, and then just an overall increase in ride quality just over the whole spectrum. I went from having a bike that I felt had an awesome front suspension and an okay rear suspension. Now I have a bike that has an awesome rear suspension and a pretty good front suspension. Like I said, it's Showa, it's not adjustable. I'm toying with the idea of spending some money on that. Other things we added, these GV bags, and I can't say enough good about these GV bags. They are, you turn the key, they come off just like that. Look at that. I take them into the house, I pack them, and then I bring them back out. I stick them on the bike like this, push them in, turn the key, and they're on the bike, Get loads of stuff in there. And when I get to the hotel, I just do that in reverse, and it works beautifully. They are definitely the best luggage I've ever had. Other thing I did for touring, I put this Hepco and Becker rack. You can't really see it right now. Nifty rack. I got that from Baxter. I got all this from Baxter Cycle, by the way. BaxterCycle.com. I put this rack on the back so I could put this bag on. I did not go for the back that had the backrest because I didn't want to give up the room. I thought it was tight enough. And also, once I got this bag on here, whoever sits on the back will have this as a backrest. Pretty stout bag. All my camping gear on this ride is in this bag. I've got a chair, a tent, a sleeping bag, an air mattress, an air pump, miscellaneous things. Gorgeous bike. So how did it work? Did it work out? Has the bike proven itself? Is it a touring machine? And the answer is yes. I'm going to be very comfortable on this bike, and we're going to do this very quick, maybe next week, the end of next week. We're going to do some big long rides on this hot rod. And we are going to, my goal is to, if I can meet the goal, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and a whole bunch of everything in between. And I really think I made the right choice with this bike. The bike ran flawlessly. It's on stock Seat tires. That's 6,500 miles on here already. Check that out. Not too darn bad at all. Let's take a look at the front one right quick. It did the long ride really well. It was loaded down. The brakes worked fabulously. The suspension was awesome. Like I said, I did the YSS suspension. I can't sing enough good about that. The seating position was very comfortable. The awesome windshield, just everything worked fabulous. This is going to be a grand touring bike. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun on this. Oh, here's my tire pressure monitoring system, by the way. I got that aftermarket. I'm not sure what brand that is. SYK TK. I got that off Amazon. Anyway, just a beautiful machine. Beautiful machine. Absolutely in love with this thing. Very happy with that. Later this week, I think actually day after tomorrow, I'm going to try to take this thing maybe all the way down to Arkansas. We're gonna just see what happens with that. Now about my riding buddies, I got to tell you, those guys were great. They were consistent, predictable. They were adventurous. They had loads of fun. And we had Mark on his Royal Enfield shotgun. All of us had Royal Enfields. Shotgun 650. And he had the GPS on his dash. He had live weather on his dash. He had weather radar, so that was really cool. And he really led the pack and did a great job. We really appreciate your help, my friend. Other two, Jeremy from Baxter Cycle. He knows everything about motorcycles and just wonderful to travel with, and just a great, added a lot of value to the ride. And then a young guy named Jeff. He also was riding an Interceptor. Jeremy was riding an Interceptor, and just good. All these guys are great riders. Good company. Just really enjoyed the whole ride. Good people make for a good ride. And throw in all that gorgeous scenery. We went to on the Illinois side. We saw beautiful parks, old river towns. Same on the Iowa side. Just twisty roads. Just loads and loads of fun. I'm planning. You know what? I'll make a video about that. I got stuff for that. Maybe they'll come out tomorrow or the next day. So one more thing, real quick. We had a big tornado here a while back, and Baxter Cycle has put all of their genuine Royal Enfield apparel. You go to their website, call it in, go to their store at BaxterCycle.com or BaxterCycleOmaha.com. Any purchases between the 1st of May and the 15th of May, 100% of the money will go to the Red Cross for tornado relief. So if you buy a $25 t-shirt, $25 goes. If you buy a $100 pair of gloves, $100 goes. You buy a $300 jacket, $300 goes. It just 100% of every penny, so It's like donating money to the Red Cross and getting a free whatever piece of Royal Enfield apparel, hats, you know, all kinds of goodies. Go to the website, check that out. Make sure you tell them Fuzzy Biker sent you. We had people from the United Kingdom, Australia, I think Canada, all over the continental United States. It's just been fabulous. And, you know, the people that need that help are really going to appreciate everything you've done for them. Life is good, my friends. Now, if y'all are in the market for a new or used Royal Enfield Triumph, classic British bike of any type, need parts, accessories, thingamajigs, doodads, travel information, if you like to go on long rides, get yourself over to Baxter Cycle in the mighty Minneapolis of Marnie, Iowa, or go to baxtercycle.com. Make sure you tell those fine folks that Fuzzy Biker sent you. It's early morning here. It's going to be a beautiful day. I'm going to do some bike riding. Y'all do the same. Life is good. Wahoo!